When you install Muse and you open Muse, it's going to ask you for some things. So let's go through what they are going to ask you, and let's see what they put in, what you need to put in there.
We don't need to open it ourselves.
No, don't do it now yourself. I record it now, put it online later, and just having the idea of what the program is about and get the feel of it. So you're going to create a new website here, and then it's going to ask you some different things. The first thing it's going to ask you the initial layout, and it says initial because you can add more layouts later. And this is the thing I was talking about. It's desktop, tablet, phone. And now I'm going to use the desktop as an initial layout. So for the desktop, it has some standardized sizes in here. The page width, and this is measured in pixels. So we also will talk about this later in the course about pixels and how that works. So it's measured in pixels. The amount of points on your screen, it's 960, and the minimum height is 500 pixels. Well, we'll leave all these standardized settings in there for now to get a hang of it. Later, when you design your own stuff, you can work with different things, of course. Same things goes for columns. Well, I guess you know what a column is, right? You can have one column on a page, then it's just one big page, or 2, or 3, or 5, and have separate columns in there. For now, for the demo, I will use 2 columns. Well, let's use 3 columns, okay. And you see that my column width is changing when I'm changing the amount of columns. And the gutter is the space between 2 columns. I'll leave that at 20 pixels. Margins and paddings. I'm not going too much into detail right now, but margins are the distance of the content to the edge of the page. And basically, you can adjust that all these things still later. So if you're thinking now, oh, I don't know what to do, just leave the standard in, and if you want to change that later, that's fine. Resolution, and of course you can change the language if you want to, but for now, fine, just leave it like that. So if you hit OK, this is what you're going to get. And this is the blank sitemap, basically. We have our home page here. And at the bottom here, you see there is masters. On this side, you see there are some tools you can select, but you can only select them when you're inside a page. The top, you will see some options here. And there you see again desktop, tablet, and phone. Only desktop is on now. I can add a tablet layout and a phone layout because those screens are much smaller. They contain a different layout, so you need to design that again. Then here you see plan, design, preview, publish. And that's basically the steps Muse is giving you in order to create your website. Plan is what we do first. That's creating the sitemap. Design is actually creating the page itself. And preview is checking if it's really working. And then you can publish it. And we're going to do all these steps in these following weeks. So this is our sitemap. And if I hover over my home page, you see that there are all kinds of pluses coming to it. So if I click a plus next to the home page, it inserts a page. And I can say here, it's the title of the page, it's products. And let's create another one that is about us. And let's do another one, and that is contacts. So now I got my homepage, and on my homepage I got 3 categories, that is products, about us, and contacts. Now in products, I want to have some subpages. So underneath the plus, I can add a child page. There it is, and one of the subcategory of products could be, what am I selling here? What kind of company? Clothes. So we have man, and I'm going to add another one. So I'll do it next to this subpage. Woman. Oh wait, children. Whatever. And within man, I can actually create another layer of navigation, and so on and so on and so on and so on. Right? So this is jeans, and next to it is shoes, and so on. And with women, that's of course then the same. You can't name them the same, so this would be jeans, but here it would, for man it's jeans, and another page name? Pants. Nice. And women don't have shoes, but have?
Heels.
Right, there they are. Okay, so this is my sitemap. So basically this structure is now inside Muse, and now I got all these different pages. And they're being created already. I mean, if I double click on the home page, it opens up, and I can edit my home page. So here you see actually the 3 columns that I put in. All these blue lines are helping lines for you, and they will disappear when you preview or publish the page. So don't worry about them. They're just helping you out to structure everything and to get that structure and alignment of everything in there. So let's get back here to this tab of my website. That's my home page I just opened. And let's dive in here to the products page. It's also empty. So everything is empty right now. Now, if I want to create something that's on every page, it would be very horrible to go into every page and to create the thing all over again, like a background color, a logo in there. So that's not handy if you have to do it on all these different pages. And that's why they put in master pages. And the master page here in the bottom is applied now to all of these pages, and you can see that because under the page name it says here a master, right? So this master is on every page. If I double click on this master, it is an empty page. But in this page I can put elements that then will appear on all the other pages. So let's change the background color of this one, and on the top here of this page you see I can do some things, and one of the things here is the browser fill, and if you click down you can select some colors. You can also select an image if you want to, but for now I will just use one color, and I'm gonna make it dark gray. And I need a logo, or at least a name of the website on there. So with the tool here, the text tool, I'm going to select that one, click and drag, and a box appears. And in here I'm typing, what was it? What are we creating? The closed store. I'm going to make it a bit bigger. Here you can check some fonts. The thing about fonts, we'll come back to that later. Not every font will work on the web, but we come back later on that. So this is what I'm going to use. Not that one. So this is on there. Gonna put it up here on the top. There it is. Now let's go back to my overview, my sitemap, and they all appear to be gray because in my master I changed that, and in every page here it changes as well. It's now in here as well. And I cannot change that anymore. I cannot fix that. I cannot grab that because it's in my master. So if I change something in my master page, let's put something as a background here. I'm going to use this rectangle tool, and I'm going to click and drag to make a rectangle. And it's empty now, and you can fill it with a color. Up here you see if you have a box selected, I can fill it with any color. I'm just going to fill it with white, and it's on top of my other element, the text, and I'm going to put it to the background so you can see actually the text. It's a very handy thing. Here on the side you have a lot of windows, and I'm going to use layers, and in layers there's one layer and everything is in there. Later on you can work with multiple layers, but if I click on this little triangle, you see the two things that are in there. That was my title, and this is the rectangle that I put in. Everything on top is first seen, and everything beneath it, well, you know, it's like a deck of cards. So if I click and drag this rectangle down, it appears. The text appears again. You see that? So the close, if I put that one down again, it's really behind that rectangle, so I can select it, drag it to the side, and there it is. See? So let's leave it there. Put the rectangle at the bottom. There it is. Now if I go back to my sitemap, you see it appears here everywhere. So in that way I can easily set up a basic layout that I can apply to all of these pages. That's master pages, very handy, and with layers you can set up an initial structure and initial layout of everything that you want to put in there. Am I going too fast, or can you catch up? Yeah? Okay. What else? What else in there? Sitemap, master page, creating links. Let's do that. Because now, if I'm in this home page, it's nice, but if we look at the trunk test, how do we navigate? Well, you can't right now. If I press preview, it's rendering some stuff, and this is my website. Nice, but I can't do anything here, right? So you need to be able to navigate. There are a few things you can do, and I'm going to show you the easy ones and the more complex ones. Okay, 2 ways. And I'm going to do that on my master page. Why? Because otherwise I need to put in a menu in every page. If I do it in a master page, it appears on every site, on every page in my website. So in my master page, I'm going to put in a menu, and I'm going to use a standardized menu for now. On this side, you also have widgets, and widgets are very handy. You can even download and buy new widgets, but the things that are in here are already pretty okay. One of these things is menus, and there's only 2 things you can choose, a horizontal menu or a vertical menu. So let's use the horizontal menu, and I'm going to click and drag this widget in this page. There it is. I'm going to place it up here. There, I'll just put it to the top of the page as well. There it is. So here you see actually the things that are in my sitemap: home, products, about us, contacts. Right? Remember we had that. It's home, it's products, about us, and contact. So this menu takes over the structure of my sitemap. So that's very handy. So if I preview it now, my home page, I got my menu. I can go to products. I can go to about us and contact. So these are now those pages. If I would have put in any content in there, you would have seen that content. But this is not everything, remember, because in products I had a lot of submenus, and those are not in there. You need to turn them on in this menu. So when you select something like this menu, you get this extra blue thingy next to it. That means there are more options. So click that, and these are the options of this menu. The menu type is top level pages. And actually I don't want all the top level navigation pages, but I want all pages. And if you do that, the rest of the pages appear as well. So right now, if I'm going to preview it again, I go to my home page, preview it. You see that next to products there appears this little thing, and there it is. So this is a very simple menu with all the pages that I put in my sitemap are in there. And now you're saying, yeah, but it looks ugly. Yes, it does. And you can change all of these things by in here selecting, for example, double clicking it, and now I'm having this box, and I can change all the colors and everything with it. If you want to hover over it and it changes in form, in shape, in size, in the text color or anything, that's called a state. And they're actually in here, menu item. Now it's the normal, but you see that if I roll over with my mouse, it looks like this, and I can change this state as well to a different color. Or let's change it. Let's change it to red. It's very ugly, just for the demo. And when it's active, remember that the "you are here" indicator, it should actually be, let's do yellow. It's not even readable. So the text in here, let's click on that one, the text separately selected. There, the text, and then I'm going to make that black. Let's see what happened. Preview it. So if I go over it at red, I'm now on the home page. If I go to the about page, I'm now in the About page and I can see that as well. See that? Okay, so this is how you set up this navigation thing. This is very basic, and of course you can do it manually as well. If I want to create a link or to a Facebook page or to an internal page, anything that you select can be transformed into a link. So let's say that this clothes store, the name of the company, also needs to go back to the home page on whatever page you are. So then I'm going to the master page in which everything is, selecting that element, making it a bit smaller. Oh, I don't want to turn it in there. And in the top you can actually change some things about this element. And one of the things here is hyperlinks. And if I click next to it, you can select, for example, the home page. So if I select it, it now links me always back to the home page. I could also say here, and let's do it separately, and I will import a Facebook icon for that, a link to a Facebook page. Facebook icon, let's Google that. Very simple one. Is it transparent? I don't know. I'm just going to copy it and I'm going to paste it in here. There it is, very big. So I'm going to make it smaller by just grabbing one of the corners. Make it smaller, and I'm just going to put it here next to it. And as you can see now, it has no hyperlink, but if I click in here, I can just type in here facebook.com or whatever URL you want, and now it links to facebook.com. So that means that, let's preview it, it's on every page because I put it in the master page. This is giving me the hand, it's going to link me to facebook.com, and in this preview you can't go one back. And the clothes store, if I'm in the About Us page, goes back to home. You see? So I'm in contact now, and if I click on close, I'm back in home page. Okay, so this is how you set up the navigational structure. And I had one other thing. Using art, well, basically I showed you the bringing in a image, just copy paste it in, click drag and drop it in, or just create here with a rectangle you can create some basic shapes. And next to it is actually, well, this is the basics of Muse, and then you can start putting in content, images, text, and other things from widgets like I lost the name. Geez, it's Friday afternoon. Slideshow, thank you. So like slideshows are in here as well that you can put in. So here are different things you can put in as well. So basically what I ask you to do now is, and that's also in the slides that are online, is this. Doing Katie's Cafe really helps you setting up a web page. And I'll introduce this quickly. It's a tutorial from Adobe, and I will put this, I will stop my recording now.